Hello comic fans, here's Earl Grey. I did a video about these nice books here, beautifully made books, a very important saga, Terry and the Pirates by Milton Caniff. All the stuff here, the colored Sundays and the black and white weeklies collected in these beautifully made 6 volumes here. And yeah, I have the complete collection, and if you watched my older video about the series, you know that I really cherish this series. I mean, it's an old-fashioned adventure series. You have to read it in the context of the time. But Milton Caniff is such an important artist as an inspiration, just for an example, for Hugo Pratt's Corto Maltese and the drawing style of Hugo Pratt in general. Yeah, that you really have to read this series here. But I sort of hate it, and sort of, obviously, I'm very excited and a victim without own will if something like this happens here. When a publisher says, hey, we have a serious upgrade for you, like now Clover Press US does, in cooperation with the Library of American Comics. They publish the whole stuff now in the double amount of books, 12 books in total. No, it's actually 13, but we will talk about the 13th at the end. This collects all the document essay material, revised and with additional stuff, of course. But this here is the exciting stuff. All the they reprinted it from, how did they call it? The syndicate proofs here from Milton Caniff. So they had really superior source material to reprint all this stuff. And how this will turn out, you will see this in a second. But let's stay with the cover here. And actually, I'm not so fond with this cover here. I love the old books here and the landscape format, to be honest with you, a bit more. And yeah, and found this panel here in particular a bit randomly picked. The background is sort of generic, but I get where they want to go with that here, because here you have the overview of all the 12 volumes that we're getting, and so they gave each volume a separate title, and of course the panels they've chosen for each of these books here fits sort of this book here. So I guess all in all it makes sense. And by the way, we have the same editors here and at work, Dean Mulaney and Bruce Canwell, who were responsible for the older ones. So they're, of course, obviously very fine and glad with this new series here. But now to the real deal. And like Corto Maltese, we have here sort of a captain without a ship, even though we are told in the very first Sunday here that he is some sort of journalist. A fact that is pretty much forgotten after some Sundays, sort of, because in the run of events, I mean, it's just an exciting chain of adventures. Like, you have always to have your hook at the end, so your cliffhanger, so that the readers will stay with you for another week. The size of this book here was defined by the newspaper of can't find it here, but it's the size of the newspaper of Milton Caniff's local newspaper. So, and this is really something different than the stuff we got before. And I want to show you some of these pages here so that you really understand why I basically think that you have to have this book here. Maybe we can start with the first page that I've already showed. Down there we have the IDW reprint, and above it's the new version here. Of course, the panels have to be... the arrangement of panels has changed, but I guess in case of the Sundays, it's clear that the Clover Press version is more true to the original, and I mean, this is the arrangement. It originally appeared in that particular newspaper. Terry and the Pirates was published all over the US, if I remember correctly. So maybe there was some kind of newspaper that published them more or less in this fashion here. The source material for the older reprints were newspapers in the collection of Dean Mullany, I guess, and some others. So they went from there. And no wonder that the colors here are much more clearer. Even though I really love some of the color tones, which are now changed to more clearer, pure colors. So, I mean, I could play this game here for hours with you, but I randomly picked here this page and this page. So here you have the old one with these subdued colors there. And it's much, much, much more smaller, and especially the text is readable, of course, but it's just another reading experience when you read this stuff here in this version. I hope you can see it. And sometimes the differences in colors are really dramatic, like look at here at this top panel there with the title. While here the colors of the sky is almost purple, while here it's clear light blue. And as I said, sometimes I really like the more subdued older colors, maybe a bit better, but I'm very overall, it's no question that the stuff here is the better reprint and closer to the original, of course, and the intention of the artist here. Maybe I just like my wishy-washy violet color tones. But yeah, I will try to sell these books here on eBay, but for a good price. I no way that I will part from them too cheaply. Especially when I see stuff like this here, which is very interesting. Again, the color schemes are very different, and so on some panels. So, but maybe that's enough for the comparison part here, because I really want to give you an impression how great the art looks here, and this new reprint, because it's perfectly sharp and beautiful. And no way around it. It's really the version that this comic here, this newspaper strip series here, should be read. In some panels you see details that were just vanished because of micro size. They're micro size in the older books there. So it's a fantastic and great endeavor that they did so. The difference is there in the weekly strips as well, of course, but not so dramatic like with the Sundays. So the format here of the book is was defined by the Sunday pages. The weekly pages could have put on a bit smaller size page, but so they could put in the title for each weekly strip, which is a good thing. But the best of it all is that, believe me, these weeklies look amazing, and when you compare them to the older reprints, they're just better, clearer, and just a joy to read and to look at. Maybe just a short glimpse here into how it was handled in these old books, and you see close, smaller, of course. You can see it there. That's one strip and that's one strip. So yeah, much more smaller in size, and the reprint quality on some of these was not so good, which was not due to the reprint, I guess, but just to the material that they had to scan, because this was a labor of love. This is a labor of love. Yeah. However, and one thing that I want to mention here, they go obviously in the design for all these books with some kind of, however you call it, puzzle page here, or collect picture. When you have all these books, then you have a panel with all the characters in it. And this is volume 13. So this is the left border of this picture, and this is the right border. And that's, of course, a great thing. Always love. Who doesn't love this kind of thing? Terry and the Pirates, volume 13, Odyssey on the China Seas. And yeah, this volume 13 collects all these essays we had already in these other books here. There was a lot of stuff, bonus material, and so in each of these volumes. And some of it really important and helps you to get a better feel for how the series here was created. This is a situation where he has some kind of actors acting at the Dragon Lady and Pat Ryan and so. A lot of these pictures will reappear in this book here. The essays are improved and modernized, and a lot of stuff has been added. So the picture of this biography of Milton Caniff and his work is more complete. To be honest with you, I haven't read this version here. I have read all the older documentaries. Some stuff here seems new. It's not the same text. They wrote and yeah, made the effort to revise their stuff and do a new version of the book here, even though the illustrations, most of them I knew from the older books. So if you're one of the guys who which is true sometimes for me as well, who just flip through this kind of stuff here and enjoy the pictures and the illustrations, but not really read all the stuff, then you maybe don't need this book here. But if you're really a Milton Caniff fan, and I guess if you go this way here, this route, you have to be a Milton Caniff fan, then you have to have this book here as well. I hope my last sentences make some kind of sense, and I hope you have, I could give you some kind of insights, overview, and help with the decision if you should upgrade or not. Thanks for listening and watching. Goodbye.